Well, hello everybody. Welcome on this beautiful day to the second episode of the Tea Time Talent Show. We are your hosts, Tea and Suga and Sazu.
That's
Hello.
right. Hello. Like Robin said, welcome to the second edition. This is the second episode of the 4 in total we'll be doing. Each week we'll be selecting 2 winners. One based upon our choice and one based upon the people's choice. So you get to vote at the end with a little poll. Eventually, all the winners will come together in the final episode, in which we will select one winner, and this person will get a release at High Tea Music. Also, fun thing, we'll be calling with Dossa and Locuzzed today, our friends from Austria, and I think that's about it. Oh, and make sure if you want to support us to buy our merchandise. We'll be sending you a link shortly, or maybe it's in the comments already. Anyway, I say back to Robin.
Yeah, I think we put it everywhere.
It's everywhere.
We put ads for our own merchandise everywhere. So you'll definitely see it. All right. So about the tunes we have this week. We got a lot of new tunes, which are really great. And we had also a lot of tunes from last week. Because last week, when we asked for the first time if people had tunes, we got so many tunes which were so good that we saved some for this week as well. We have a lot of tunes for you right now.
Oh, shit.
And I think, we should just jump to the...
Kick it off.
Before we start,
To the
if
tune
people
view.
have questions or comments about the tunes they hear, just pop them up in the reactions. And also, if you have questions for Dossa and Locuzzed, please react, and maybe we'll ask them directly to them.
Yeah.
So
React and we
let
will
us
act.
know.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a nice one. Nice one.
Okay.
Kick it off, Rob.
Yeah, kick it off. Okay, it's time to go to the first tune. The first tune we have to you is a tune from Carrier, and it's called Matroshka. I don't know if you pronounce it like that, but the title looks very Russian to me.
I think it's the right way to pronounce it.
Yeah, right?
Sounds good.
Okay, so I can tell you a lot about this tune, but Luca from Carrier sent in a video, which I'm going to show you right now. So here we go.
Hi there, my name's Carrier. I'm a 21-year-old drum and bass producer from Amsterdam, which means I've been to a lot of high tea parties in Amsterdam and Haarlem over the past couple of years. But the way I rolled into drum and bass was actually 5 or 6 years ago, but when I started organizing drum and bass raves around Amsterdam, and Zazu and Tea and Sugar may remember those from a couple of years ago. But the more interesting part, of course, is about the track. And for that, I'm going to take you inside. Right, so before we get to the track, why did I choose Carrier? Well, when I built this PC and when I started learning music production, which was about half a year ago, I was following an internship on wireless radar systems. And in the world of wireless communication, the base signal is referred to as the carrier wave. But about the track, what happened halfway through the production of that track is I felt like something was missing, something was not quite right in there. And then I got inspired by the whole heavy distorted bass sound that you tend to see in memes quite a lot of times. So yeah, that did inspire me quite a lot. Now, of course, I'm locked in here because of the whole isolation thing. And a tip that I do have is, of course, like work on music is the best thing ever. Or you could try gardening, which is a really fun thing. And growing your own vegetables, it's like having roommates. It's the best thing ever. Anyway, that was the video, and I hope you like the track. Cheers.
So yeah, that was a good introduction.
Professional, man.
Perfect. And I really liked what he said about gardening, because most of the stuff I do right now, it's like stuff with computers, stuff you can do inside, but it's actually great to just focus on life and plants. And
As long as you stay inside.
Exactly.
Stay indoors, guys.
Okay,
Stay inside.
let's play his tune. Right.
Okay.
Well, that was a tune.
Quite
Alrighty.
I really liked the groovy elements of the drop. You know, it's kind of like a complextro style kind of tune.
Yep.
I really like that, and also the build up, the tension in the build up is right. You can hear right away. Like if you play this at a club from the beginning, people are gonna be into it all the way. Yeah. Okay, so now on to the things that were less good, in my opinion. I think the whole drop is very nice, but it's for me it stays at the same level the whole time. So yeah, it sounds way too long now, and there's too little happening in the drop. Two things you could do is one, make it shorter, which I think you should definitely do because it's pretty long. And two, you can add like noises and risers to create interest. Like you can have the main part for 16 bars, and then the next 16 bars, now you still have that same main part. But if the second time you create a riser in there that goes up throughout those 16 bars, I think, yeah, it will sound a lot more interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I agree with you, Robin, on many levels. Yeah, I also really enjoyed the track. The tension is really good. Just as Robin said, this would work well in a club. Personally, for me, the thing I didn't fully like, but that's more of a taste thing, I guess, personal preference. Is you got like this stabby chord hit, like whatever. And I totally understand why you got it there. It's really important to have something break up the tune like that. It's really recognizable, that place. But personally, I would use a different sound or maybe a different element altogether to have the same impact, but just with a different feeling to it. I
So
guess.
can you just point to the sound you're talking about when I play
right
the
at
drop?
the second it drops.
Oh, so
that
on the
one.
afterbeat. Bam. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like the chord step.
The chord
Or
step,
the
yeah,
chord,
the chord step, yeah, the chord step. I think that could be just not my taste.
Yeah,
sound-wise.
exactly. Because I personally didn't think that. I think it sounds nice, like a funky chord, but yeah, it's all about taste as well, you know. So you can just experiment with it, and if something else doesn't work, you can always go back to this because I like it. Something I do think when I hear this tune is you have a lot of different elements in the tune, and I think some of them are not leveled right. Here and there are sounds, for example, the vocal right before the drop. It's like way in the back, and I think if you push that to the front a little bit more, people are gonna hear it when you play it in the club. They hear that vocal and they know, oh yeah, now this tune is gonna drop. So that's something you could try.
True.
Yeah. Jur, do you have something else?
Mostly the same. Build-up tension was really on point, but that was already told by you guys. For me,
said
the tune
everything.
asks for yeah. Well, there's one thing. For me, the tune asks for a different snare. It's now it is like some kind of acoustic snare, and I think a more synthetic kind of snare would fit better.
Yeah, so with like a more heavy low end,
Yep.
like
yep.
a 200 hertz type
More-
of snare.
More oomph. Yeah.
Yeah.
More
Yeah, it didn't occur to me when I
sense,
played at first, but I do think it's something you could try. Yeah,
Definitely consider it.
Yeah.
Consider it.
More like a dance floor snare.
exactly. Yeah,
Just make a metric snare, you know, and then
yeah. Just call him
No,
up
but
and
call
ask
Maverick.
for a snare.
Well, I have his
No,
phone
but
number.
that's one thing. But the rest,
Yeah.
sounded pretty great. Loved
I
it.
think so as well. Yeah. All right. I think this is for this. There's one more thing.
Reactions.
React.
Love the buzzing bass, great drums, nice groove. So yeah, that's good to
yeah.
hear. I guess.
Luca, you have those comments in the pocket.
Bam.
Nice.
Yeah.
Put this on
Bam.
your resume or something, you know.
All right.
really
well,
nice.
I think this is it for this tune, Matroshka by Carrier. I think we can move on to the next one.
Definitely.
All right, there we go. And the next one is a tune by Crash Comet, and it's called Feeling, featuring Emily Mackes. He also sent me a video, so I'm gonna play that for you right now.
Hey, what's up, High Tea? This is Daniel, aka Crash Comet. I'm a 24-year-old producer from London, but currently based in India and live with my fiance. I started making music around the age of 16 and started making music for video games and short films. And about 2 years ago, I started making liquid drum and bass. The name Crash Comet comes from the idea that each track I make tells a different story. And I like to think that each of those tracks crash on a comet somewhere. Have I ever been to a high tea event before? Unfortunately, I haven't. That's something I really want to do, hopefully next year. My top tip for beating the coronavirus is just try and stay positive, make sure that you're eating healthy, and try and do some exercise to keep your brain and your body active. The track you're about to hear is a track that I wrote together with Emily Mackes. And yeah, I think I created something very personal and emotional to myself because the track is written about my fiance. So I really hope you guys like it.
All right, I think that speaks for itself. Let's just play the track.
All right.
I can't help the way I'm feeling. I can't help the way it I can't help the way I'm feeling. I can't help the way
All right, we're gonna cut it out here.
Very smooth.
Yeah. Very dreamy tune. Like it.
I think your fiance should be happy with us. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's so romantic, by
So
the way.
romantic.
Yeah.
I wish I had a fiance, I would totally do this.
Then we could write good songs, you know?
Finally.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just marry, guys, with the three of us.
Yeah. Wow.
Let me see.
But I think, like, when you get married, sometimes you call the wife the name of the man, right? So my wife in America, they would call Mrs. Robin Storm. So I think if the three of us would get married, we would all be called the Misters Robin Storm.
Oh, that's an
Yeah.
interesting thing,
Yeah.
man. That's Whoa, hold on a sec. Why are there subtitles in this video? I see there's like automatic
You
generated.
can tune them on and off.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Wow.
I wasn't even aware of this.
Okay.
Is it any accurate? Is it Or is it total?
It depends. If you speak clearly, it can be nice, but sometimes it really screws up.
Let's just speak.
But
super
we're talking
slow.
about fiancés and getting married and subtitles. But we just heard a beautiful tune.
We did.
Yeah.
We got connected a little bit.
So first of all, I wanted to say I really like the vocal. I think it's very professional. Like this could, vocal-wise, it could be released right away. The main thing that stood out to me that doesn't sound right in the tune yet is that the drums sound very direct and very dry. And I think that is simply because there's too much high end in the drums. So I'll play it back for you and then I'll dip the frequencies a bit where I think they're too much. So around this area. Yeah, I think you could even cut quite drastically. Right now it's all up in your face, the drums, and if you tone it down a little, it blends in beautifully with the track. Another thing I noticed is that the intro part is really beautiful, but it moves just a bit too quick for me. Like, it drops after 46 seconds. I think you could stretch it out a bit more. You could, for example, play this verse part, and after that have another build-up part with like ad-libs are in. I heard you had ad-libs in the drop here. That stuff.
Wow.
Nice.
Maybe if you do something like that and create a build-up, I think you can create a better story for the whole intro.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Too bad you literally said the only thing that I had as a remark. That was the drums.
Oh yeah, but do
But,
you
so, yeah.
also want to say it? You can say it again.
I'm still gonna say the drums are
Philip,
very
do
direct.
you want to say something about the drums?
Yeah, the drums are very direct. They're like straight right in your face.
That's
But yeah,
refreshing.
refreshing.
to hear.
So refreshing. Yeah, just check out stuff like Hybrid Minds. Listen to their drums. You know?
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't say that
Yes.
yet. You should really compare your track to others, like Be It with Hybrid Minds, for example, and then you might hear like, "Whoa, my drums are way too much
Or
higher."
be it with Zatu.
Yeah.
Well, that was the only thing I had for this tune. Be it with other tunes, but fuck you guys. Okay. No, and the piano in the intro is sounding wonderful. So if you could send me which contact library you used, please, so I can use
let
this
us know in the
piano
comments.
also.
And also
Let us know in the comments.
send the MIDI of the tune, and if you could send the vocal stem.
Oh, and a photograph of your passport and your credit card on both sides.
Yeah. That would be wonderful.
Nice.
Okay,
All right.
this tune is so smooth. I love it. This song
Yeah.
is yummy.
I love it.
Nice.
Feeling
Yeah.
by Crash Comet. It's a great tune. All right.
Yeah.
So, I think it's time to move on to the third tune. The third tune is Losing Control by Phonetic. Phonetic was also kind enough to send in a video, so here we go.
Hi, I'm Lawrence, aka Phonetic. I'm 31 years old and I'm living in Innsbruck together with my girlfriend. Music has always been a part of my life. I started playing the piano when I was 8 years old. In high school, I formed a rock band with my friends where I played the bass. I started producing around 6 years ago. About my name Phonetic. Phonetics is about converting sound waves into information, and that's basically what I do. I convert sound waves into tracks. Besides that, I always found the word itself really cool. So it's phonetic. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend to any high-tea event yet, but definitely would go there if there's the possibility. My tip for the Corona lockdown is stay at home, don't go crazy, and make as much music as possible. So about my track, the track is called Losing Control. I've been working on it the last few months, and I'm really glad with the whole composition, and I think I'm improving with every track. I think there's mix-wise I could get some tips or some improvements, and yeah, I'm looking forward to show it to you guys, and I hope you enjoy it. Cheers!
It's a deep
All right. So that was introduction from Lawrence, Phonetic. Here's his tune.
I like losing control. I get high when I'm feeling my flow. My mind is focused and I'm ready to go, ready to go. Nah, it's like falling from grace. I know I'm blessed 'cause I found my way. I'm feeling fire and I'm ready to slay, ready to slay. Nah, nah. Now you know why.
All right, come on, Tea Time Talent Show. Get ready for the drop.
Losing control, 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 Now you know why I had to go, I had to go. I still love you. I hope you know, I hope you know. It's not the truth. We were never meant to be. Sorry I had to leave. I like losing control, losing control, losing I like losing control. I get high when I'm feeling my flow. My mind is focused and I'm ready to go, ready to go. Nah,
All right.
it's like falling from grace.
This is all we're gonna tease for you right now.
Ah, you're such a tease.
Yeah. All right. So this was a serious banger. I really liked it. Personally, I really like the vocal, and I especially like the bit in the second 16 bars of the drop. So it has dropped for a bit, and then this new vocal theme comes in, and it really lifts me up. I also think the drums are pretty much on point. I didn't listen to it in detail, but when I just play it back now, it sounds great. Like they're not too demanding, but they still sound really energetic. So that's good. What you could do maybe in this tune is something with a lead. When I heard it, I immediately got this sidechain vibe in my head. Right now, the lead notes are just long, dragged out notes. Maybe if you sidechain it, it will sound cool. Like I'm talking about this part. Yeah, so that's something you could do. Something else is that the very top end of the drums could be a little bit quieter. Like the drums are good, but this bit could be turned down a little, and that might even be more of a mastering thing. So yeah, but you can still do it in the mix if you like. Yeah, what do you guys think?
Well, my main point of feedback was actually the lead sound as well, because basically I think the whole track is great competition-wise. I do really like the vocal as well, although sometimes it feels a bit blurred in the mix. I totally understand what Robin meant by the second team on the drop. It works really well melodically, but mix-wise it was a bit too much blended in for my taste.
Yeah, the vocal processing can be a bit better, like more compression, stuff like
definitely,
that. Yeah.
Definitely, processing wise. But apart from that, the vocal is great in my opinion. But the lead sound sounds a bit like an accordion. Is it the way you pronounce it in
So
English?
something like this. Come on, everybody! Yay!
Maybe that's because it's like from Austria. You know, this could maybe be a cultural thing.
Oh, yeah.
But to me,
Yeah.
it sounds a bit too much like an accordion, and I think probably sidechaining would help. But maybe also just dive in the sound itself, and I don't know. Maybe did you layer it with something like an accordion or something like that? Could be.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something
Maybe,
about it.
yeah.
There's some layer in there that is not my kind of taste. But apart from that, melody-wise, it's really strong. I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. Jur.
Yeah, big tune. Big tune. Yeah, drums are great. In my opinion, the lead sounds quite okay. So we disagree about that. The mix
that's
is
fine.
great. That one chord is awesome. It's like not a usual chord progression. Like there's in the first 8
Yeah.
bars there's this chord which is
In
awesome.
the very intro.
no, like the first drop. You have
yeah,
like
yeah.
this
the
one
chord
chord
change,
which
yeah.
makes it this one.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so nice. Yeah, it's it makes the tune stand out, you know, and that's really
Definitely,
nice.
yeah.
So that one chord is awesome. Yeah, I also have some troubles with the vocal, mix wise also, and it doesn't really stand out in the mix. But you also said that at some point you can't like fully hear the lyrics, which is always important when you mix vocals, in my opinion.
Especially
yeah.
with these kind of tracks, like it's really sing
Yeah,
along vibes.
it shouldn't be hard for people to sing along. Like they have to hear like, oh, what are
Yeah.
they saying? Then it becomes distracting. Yeah,
totally
yeah,
true. You're totally true.
definitely.
Yeah, I'm so true. Oh my god.
You're
No.
so true.
Okay, and then reactions. Build up before the drop could use some work. Yeah, maybe. Not
Yeah.
really sure if I'm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was it.
Yeah, was this all the
Vocals.
complaining you had to do?
No, this is just for the comments.
No,
right?
that's
Someone-
the
just for
comments. The comments.
Oh, I
There
thought
were-
you were still
No,
saying.
no.
I thought
No,
like,
no,
oh,
no,
he's
no.
dragging on with everything.
No,
Okay,
no,
okay,
the comment.
nice.
The people are complaining.
I
Okay,
think
okay.
vocals. Elliot says I think vocals were too quiet or something was too quiet.
Yeah,
Something was too quiet in this tune.
Something was too quiet. But there's
No.
always something.
No,
you know?
great. Yeah, nice melodies. So yeah, good
Nice.
production. Yeah.
Okay.
well, great. Yeah, I think. Phonetic losing control. It's a tune.
Yep.
Okay.
Right now, I think it's time for a little commercial. So we'll be back in just a minute.
Are you feeling sick of not going to parties? Do you sometimes even worry you'll forget what it feels like to dance to the rhythm of drum and bass on a high-tea club night? Well, don't worry, because right now you can bring a bit of high-tea music into your own home. Check out our new merchandise store at highteamusic.nl. High-tea music. Go hard and be home.
Wow, that was a high quality commercial. Yeah.
It was so fucking
Yeah.
smooth. Oh my.
Why do we even live? What? we don't deserve to be seen on the internet.
No, we do. It's all good.
Nice voiceover.
Yeah. Yeah, who was that?
Who
Okay, so on to the tune.
Okay. Yeah.
Skyfade with his tune Switch Funk, and in a moment you'll hear why it has funk in the name. But first we have a little video from this Mr. Skyfade, and I'm gonna play it for you right now.
Hey guys, I'm Skyfade from Austria. I'm 23 years old and married. Yeah, my musical journey started soon by the age of 7 when I played the French horn. By the age of 10 I learned the guitar, and by the age of 12 I learned to play the drums. So after some years of playing instruments I wanted to do something new. So I got old version of FL Studio and started producing. My first beats were horrible, but hey, everything gets better at some point. How did I came up with my artist name? Yeah, at the time where I started producing, I was kind of influenced by Netsky. So you see the sky, and I thought, what spiritual cool could I come up with to be a liquid drum and bass producer? And yeah, it was Fade, so Sky Fade. Yeah, not my best idea, but hey. Yeah, I've never been to an high tea event, but probably should go to some. How do I overcome the corona blues? Garden work, producing, the whole day. Yeah. If you work in the garden and you got an idea, you go back to the studio, produce something, and when you're pissed, you go back to the garden and make that. So yeah. The tune, as admitted, is called Switch Funk, and it's a mixture from Eurofunk, minimal drum and bass, and funk, of course. Yeah, you should definitely wait for the second drop. I hope you have the time for that, and I hope you like it. Had a lot of fun producing it and tried a lot of new stuff. Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, I hope you like my tune, and have a nice day.
All right. So
lot of
let's play the
Austrians.
tune. What?
It's like an Austria. One massive
what the
Austria.
Exactly, yeah.
people.
There's always a lot of drum and bass coming from that area, but somehow
Should we do a
Even
party?
more now.
Should we do a party
It's
in
the-
Austria?
high tea Austria.
Let us know in the comments if we have
Yeah.
to do a high tea party
Maybe we should consider
in
this.
Austria.
I mean, this is like the second producer
Yeah.
from today. And did we also had some guys last week, right, from Austria?
I think so.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
The two guys.
Yeah,
names.
MFX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also got
Nice.
Dossa Locuzzed tuning in later,
Yeah.
but that's a whole different story.
That's a whole different story.
Austria is doing great.
also
oh my.
taking over.
Yep.
Well, I
Speaking
think-
about
Definitely.
Austria and Dossa and Locust and everything, I think this is a tune Dossa and Locust would very much like because of the funk elements.
now they're biased.
Yeah, and
they're
then
biased.
now we're gonna hear why it has funk in the name. So there we go. Alright, I think for this one we'll play the second drop as well because they have a nice switch up there. Which I think
yeah, it's important.
yeah,
this
it's
one.
part of the tune. So if you want to get your tune played in the show fully till the end, make sure you have a weird second drop.
true. That's true. This is awesome.
Yeah, now we get the idea of it.
Taking it out
Man,
slowly.
that was funky and groovy and everything.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
right that it was like a big mixture of different styles.
Yeah.
What even was that style? Like the second drop. How do you even call that?
I don't know. It's like techno, but played at a
Fast,
fast
techno,
tempo.
hard, slow,
Hard bass.
hardcore, hard
I don't
Hard
know.
bass?
Let us know in the
Hard-
comments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let
I
us
don't-
know if you know how to call that, because sometimes you hear like drum and bass with this tech housey feel or something.
Or maybe we should not discuss this because then I'm personally really against the whole fragmentation of the scene in subgenres.
Yeah,
and
but it's
subgenres.
nice if you can
genres.
talk about it.
Yeah,
like
it's good to talk
you
about
if
it.
you wanna explain to somebody what it is, like,
Yeah.
and you just have one word for it. It's easy.
But drum and bass, is drum and bass, and we love it all.
Yep.
So about the song, it was really cool. Obviously, I really liked the entire arrangement and the switch up. Like at the third 16 bars of the drop, you switch to this noise type of bass. Like, brrrr. It's a really nice switch
Wait,
up.
how? Like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, I do think though that there's just a little something wrong with the transition from the build up to the drop, and it could be because of a couple of things. You might have your pre-drop fill too loud, or the drums on the drop they sound too muffled maybe, because you have a kick and a clap now, but they're both very deep, and I think they could use a bit more high end. I don't know if this... Yeah, now I'm just gonna boost everything, so that's not really the effect I'm looking for. But I think you could layer your clap with maybe a clap that has a bit more noise, maybe add a hi-hat on top of your kick, so your drums will poke through the high end a bit more. Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, even when you just play the back, now I'm thinking maybe even try an experiment with the snare instead of a clap.
Yeah, it might also be a thing, because that was also a thing I had. Like, maybe you should have the 4 on the floor kick also in the first drop, because the clap sounds very light now. And if you layer the clap with a kick, or with a snare maybe,
Yeah, I think I'm thinking a
it
snare,
has a little more weight, because now it's just a very thin clap, which only has frequencies in the mids and not in the low and the high end.
I would say try it with a clap, but a kick could also work. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do really like the fact that you have like a clappy feel in the first drop and a kicky feel in the second drop. So
Yeah.
to say. So my preference would be try and still, yeah, try a snare basically. What the fuck am I saying?
Just
try
a snare bottom. Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, yeah. Apart from that, again, I really like the arrangement. This is something that I will play out probably, because this is gonna work.
Yeah,
well.
it's really a good DJ
It's
tune.
gonna work
Yeah.
well. Besides the things that Robin already mentioned, I'm thinking that maybe in the intro part, like the first 16 bars, you give away the entire chords, so to say, and I'm thinking maybe to just use low pass and filter it in. And yeah,
Yeah.
Apart from that, this part.
Yeah,
Personally, I would
It's
say
like
create
full
a
on
bit
all the
more
way, yeah.
tension with filtering this in with a low pass filter. But yeah, those are details. I really like track, man. Great
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
me
very
too.
nice as well. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Anybody got something else to say? Do we have some comments?
Anybody called Jurian, maybe?
Yeah, well, myself, and I. No, yeah, I'm a sucker for like funkiness in drum and bass. You know,
We
like
know,
Danny
yeah.
Bird, Brooks Brothers, and Document One, and of course our guests from today, Dossa and Locuzzed. But yeah, I love those tunes. So this one fits really well in my taste. And if I look at the comments, I see low R saying, "My only gripe is that the clap seems to be panned to the left. Other than that, love it." So I think he's right. Actually,
I'm just listening with one ear monitor now, so for me it's
Okay,
all
yeah, well,
mono. I'll check it out. Yeah, it's like a thing you can do, like pen stuff, but in dance music and drum and bass in general, you should be very careful. You actually want your kick and snare or kick and clap,
Yeah.
whatever you use, to be right in the middle, dead mono,
Yep.
and yeah, then it just sounds better.
By the way, Low R, send us music. Send us music.
Yeah, yeah. Our email address is over here in the top. You can send us demos, and we still have one more episode before we do the final round. So
Yeah, but seriously,
you can still get your tune
yeah.
here. Yeah,
No, beside that, I really like your music, Low R. So please send us some stuff, man.
yeah.
Please do.
All right.
Well, and let me take a look if I have four to the floor. Maybe that's the subgenre for like the.
Yeah, but that's like the very general, you know, like
Yeah.
everything which has a kick on each.
Yeah, it's 4 on the floor.
yeah.
I know. Like techno is also 4 on the floor. 4 to
Yeah.
the floor.
It's
Yeah,
4 to the floor
okay.
drum bass, and probably just that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's stick to that then.
4 to the floor.
Yeah, but
drum
4
and
to the
bass.
floor is also like kick snare.
Oh yeah. fuck.
They also call it that. So it's we'll keep looking for the right word.
4 kicks to the floor.
Four kicks to the floor.
Kick to the floor.
Okay.
Just kick to the floor.
Okay.
Fuck it. Kick to the floor.
Yeah, I think it's time to head to the
Okay.
next,
Yeah.
to
Let's
the next
continue.
tune.
This is gonna
Let's
take
do it.
ages.
All right. That's the wrong sample. I meant to play this. The next one is Josh Lovis. He had a tune in the show last week as well. But he sent in a couple of tunes, and this tune was also very nice. So we also did it in the show. Again, he didn't send us a video,
Fuck you,
so
man.
that's why I'm introducing him here right now.
Okay. Maybe I should introduce him.
Yeah, maybe. Okay,
yeah, okay.
take it away.
Okay. Josh. He's called, right? Josh.
Yeah.
Josh is a blonde guy, 19 years old. He lives in Aalsmeer. He's single, so ready to mingle. So please, ladies, let us know in the comments if you want his number. He likes hobbies. He likes horse rides on the beach and sunsets. I think that comes
Yeah,
with.
I think that's basically all there is to say. Yeah.
And he makes drum and bass.
Right. Let's hit it. Long fade in.
Fade in.
No, I pretend that he's the one that loves me harder. I never meant to go so far, but we can go further if you'll be dead by the time that we can let our heart out. You know where we left, so touch me, make it count.
Yeah, it's a beautiful tune, but no weird second drop, so I'm fading it out slowly.
Really shouldn't have said that because next week we're gonna get submissions with like weird
Yeah,
second
but
drops.
that's nice, right? Because I always really like it when the second drop surprises you. Yeah. Secretly, this is all conspiracy to get weird second drops.
Maybe we started Corona to get you inside to listen to our live stream, and then eventually creating weird second drops.
Mind blown.
Minds are blown.
Well, so I think this tune is like song-wise, it's really on point. The instrumental has a really nice vibe to it, and it doesn't need any more than it has right now. Just the electric piano kind of chords on the drop, and just the drums and the bass. It works really nice, and the vocal is really great as well. I really like it. Same as with the phonetic track, that after a while into the drop, it switches to a new vocal team, and yeah, it sounds great. A thing that I had with this tune is that the drums, I think they're getting there. Like the samples are nice, but they could be a little better, because right now I think the kick is has too much mid click. I think you could scoop that out a little so it blends in a little better. And I think the drums in general could use a boost in the high end. Let's see if I can. And then everything will have a bit more presence. Another thing is that apart from the kick and snare, you have the shakers in the high end. And I think it's not enough, because the shakers sound very thin, and you should get some shuffles or a hi-hat loop in there. And that way you can, so to say, glue the kick and snare together. Because right now they sound very separated. And if you have the hi-hats in between, they won't sound separated anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. It's for me. It's the same. Like drums, and drums. But that's like 90% of the feedback we always give is all about drums, because it's difficult. It's difficult. I think that the snare sounded a bit how do you lifeless maybe like
and I think that is the high end missing.
So yeah, basically that's just an addition to what Robin already said. Apart from that, I think Robin, you said that you thought that the track was completely full enough, if you know what I mean, like in a drop.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like at some point when there's no vocal, it's a bit too empty, but maybe use some reverb from the vocal or loop a word or something, just fill up the high.
I get what you're saying.
Part.
Yeah, right now when it drops, you hear this. Like, make it count, and then you hear the count delaying for a bit, but maybe
keep it going.
Yeah,
keep
that could be dragged out a bit, and maybe
drag it out.
For 8 bars and then stop it, because then it will be a nice switch up to the dry
and
EP chords.
Then it makes more sense.
Yeah.
And then do it again after the vocal on the drop, and do the same trick again.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it for me.
I think so as well. You got something?
Yeah,
got
drums.
something, bruv?
Drums.
What?
Drums, mate. The drums, mate.
Again, drums. We're all bitching on someone's drums. Oh, I love bitching at drums.
The kick is a bit. How can I say this? I think you can layer your kick with like a nice top end or high end or a click or something, and after that, if you put the volume down like 1 dB, then I think it fits better. Now it's more kind of a harder kick for like deep or neuro kind of. So yeah, make it fit more to this track by layer it with something in the high end.
Yeah, I think all comments on the drums are basically like, get your high end right and get everything at a good level there. Yeah.
But yeah, very chilled tune. Great arrangement. Everything fits in its right place, I guess. So
Amazing vocal.
yeah, lovely tune.
Yeah.
Let me see if the comments say something about this tune. It just needs a little bite. Crispy. I love it. I like the vocal a lot and the oh my god. Atmospherics
No, but the D shouldn't be in there. That's a spelling mistake.
in the build-up.
Yeah.
And the drop felt a little underwhelming, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah, I think, yeah.
kind of right.
I think we agree.
Yeah, maybe just a tad, and then when you have the vocal loop going on, it will sound better, because
Tad.
I don't think you should add too much to the drop,
No,
because
that's true, that's
it
true.
has a really beautiful vibe right now.
Yeah, just a small changes.
Yeah,
to
just
make
the
it a bit
small
more
producing
interesting.
things, to get it right. Okay,
But loved it.
this was the last tune, Make It Count by Josh Lovis. What's next? Should we call somebody?
Wait, we should open up the poll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna open up the poll, because now you've heard all the tunes. We're gonna play you a mini mix of the tunes, so you remember
Refresh
which
your
title is which tune. And then we're gonna call our special guests, Dossa and Locuzzed.
Special friends.
My very special
My very
friends.
special friends.
Okay.
Okay, play the
Here
mix.
it goes.
Play the mix.
See you in a bit.
Losing control, losing control, losing control, losing control. I should have let you come closer than I could have.
Is it Locust
All right.
DNB?
I think we're still setting up the call.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. There we have it.
There we have it. Hey guys.
I have to ask Philip a question. Can you check the voting link on the website? Because I want to know for sure that it's all working.
What was the email address again? hightmusic.nl
/events/TTT show.
TTT show. Okay, let me check if the voting link's open. And it's open.
All right.
Okay,
Good.
I'll just
good.
drop it in the comments and then everybody got it. Vote here.
I already
Oh,
did it.
you ready? Ah, I love you, man. I love
Nice.
Ah,
All right.
love you
So
too,
the
bro.
voting link is open right now. You can see it depending on the platform you're watching. In the description or the comments, you'll see a link. And yeah, you can vote.
So yeah, first things first. Welcome, guys, all the way from Austria in isolation.
Isolation.
Isolation. Na 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 na. Ah, we should. That's a new song. Okay. First things first. How did you like the show, and which track was your favorite?
Great, man. Cool show overall. Like I watched the last one with Katie as well. Really cool to see like a platform for these youngster producers to kind of get some exposure and also some feedback all in once. So big ups for that in first place.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
We actually did write down a little bit of feedback for each and every track. If you want to go through that, we can still like just
Yeah.
skip it and
Yeah,
choose
nice.
a favorite.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Rene? Wanna
Yeah,
come
so
on?
yeah, same man, like really cool show. To be honest, I didn't watch the first episode, so I wasn't aware that
Oh.
it was just really this whole talent show thing, and you really pulled it off really nicely with the jingle as well.
Big up, Robin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Robin is the mastermind behind that.
Yeah, but as Benny said, we've written down a few things to all the tracks. I mean, I'd say I'm just gonna start with the first one, which was Carrier.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
it's a cool track. I gotta say though, in the drop, that it sounds a bit empty until the noise layer comes in at the second part. So I would maybe try to put something on the first beat, like maybe a stab or something like that. And also had the feeling during the whole track that I'm waiting for a resolution in the melody.
Mm.
That was
That was
Yeah.
the thing. Like all of you guys said that if it was a pop song, I'd say a chorus is missing pretty much. So what I would say pretty stupidly is to the producer of this track, just try to remix your own track, kind of go in again and let the intro do its job, as it does a pretty good job, and then just try to let it drop completely different, and then you will have a banger.
Nice.
I guess.
Well, that sounds easy.
It's always fun to remix your own track and see
Yeah.
what you come up with. Basically what a VIP is, but then without the
Yeah, but I think that's a very
Pretty
good
much.
feedback, because you can always get interesting things by creating different versions of your own track.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we have so many different versions of our tracks
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, sometimes you just get stuck, like when you're working on versions. I would say, like, when you're on version 20 already, the tune is supposed to die, because at some point you're so much into detail, so you don't have a bigger picture anymore in your head. So you will probably never make it. There are so many tracks we just had to leave because.
Yeah, true.
Too
At
much
a
effort
certain point, you should be
was
like,
put in there.
okay, it's just mixing details now, but it's gonna get there. And if you don't have that feeling after 20 versions, like you said, then
20.
Exactly.
yeah,
20 the golden number?
try something different.
20
I
the
have
golden number?
I have no idea. That was just
No,
a
it's-
random number, to be honest.
We should just take notes and then like in 2
Ah, yeah.
years come back to this and then we can calculate a bit of an average number.
It'll be good.
I guess it also depends on the track. So
Definitely.
individually.
But if you have enough tracks, I mean you will find some common number, you know?
True that. But
The
cool
golden
track.
rule.
Yeah.
Cool track. Carrier big ups. Sick work. Anyway.
Yeah. Nice one.
So what's next? Crash Comet. Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys. Great voice, great vibe. Tune is solid, I'd say. What I'm missing a little bit is some little variations on the drums. But probably it's just personal preference that I like more groovy ones with some shuffles which are not 100% on the grid and stuff like this. But yeah, I'd say all about the groove, but the track is solid anyway.
I mean you can never go wrong with groove
Yeah.
and drum and bass. I mean
That's the kind of
essential,
feedback I expected from you guys, actually.
yeah.
Like, you're the funk masters of drum and bass,
Funk
like
master. We need
always
more
about
funk.
groove. Yeah. No, but I get what you're saying though. It's like very one rhythm all the time, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you should find
Yeah.
the right balance, I guess. You know, between keeping it interesting with little funky things, and but also not overdoing it. But I think
True
again,
that.
I understand what you mean. With the Crash Command track, there could be a bit more groove.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
also, I think
sorry.
Robin, you said in your feedback that you think there could be some ad libs on there. I think.
Yeah, I said like the create a new build-up part. So now you have the first 16 bars, then you have the verse in the second 16 bars, and then create a part at the third 16 bars with maybe ad-libs, and then build it up with that part.
Yeah, I would
Because
even
I
do
thought
it. Sorry.
Huh? You first.
Okay, thanks. Cheers. I would just say I would even do this during the main part of the track. You could really do some reverb things and render them and automate them so that you have more interesting stuff going in the vocal, because now it seems that only one vocal recording is playing, and you can really play around with stuff like this.
That's interesting. So during the verse, you're talking about the main verse.
Just repeat some like the last words of a sentence, for example.
Exactly.
Reverse it. Just to get some
That's
movement in the vocal.
interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's
Nice.
useful feedback.
Yeah.
Useful feedback. Okay. Next one, I think.
The
Phonetic.
next one. Phonetic.
He's
Yeah.
from your home country, man. He's your homeboy.
Yeah, I think you even know him, right?
Mate, not only that. Let me tell you a story. Like, first of all, I love the track. I think it's cool. Straight vibey from the intro, I'd say. The only thing I would probably improve is the build up towards the drop, as it kind of feels it comes out of nowhere. So, like, considering that in a drum and bass track, the build is more important than the drop, because you can make any drop work when you have the right build up. Lawrence should
interesting
probably go
philosophy.
in there again. Then, sorry?
That's an interesting philosophy, man.
Yeah,
You can make
Yeah.
any
I'm
drop work
convinced.
with the right build. Kind of
I'm,
like
I'm
it.
convinced of that.
Therefore, yeah, think of all the jump up tracks that use a pop track in the intro, then like have this really huge build, and then just go like boom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's just all about the contrast as well, though, I think.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
Successive contrast. Yeah, so What is funny about this thing is like Phonetic was actually in my studio for a one-on-one lesson. And we focused on the drums. So all of you guys saying the drums are on point is like the best advertising for me. I can imagine.
Nice.
Nice one.
If you want to get
Nice
better
one,
at drums, you know how to play
Yeah.
these guys.
Because I believe we listened to many of Phonetic's tracks, and we always had the same feedback, like work on the drums, because a club drum is like a really difficult thing. And now, you managed to pull it off. So
Now, we barely had feedback on it.
So put your email address in the comments here, and people can hit you up for private lessons.
Cool. Just hit me up on Facebook. No worries.
Nice.
Cool track anyway. Cool thing is he sent it to me like 2 months ago, where he was still trying to fix that one chord you guys love that much, and it seems he finally did it. So very
funny.
very cool to see him having a track on this show, like over the internet and stuff. It's
It's funny how all this is coming together. Like,
Now, like you've been involved in the writing process.
For the audience, this was not planned. Seriously,
this was really not planned.
No,
This is
not at all.
fucking mental. This is fucking mental.
Yeah.
Okay, well. Okay, crazy. Now I also expect a big story from the other guy from Australia.
Australia, mate.
Alright, bro. Man, that's like always
Schnitzel
messing me
power,
up.
mate.
Why is that always messing me up? Austria.
Euler.
Australia.
It's Euler in Austria.
Yeah, Euler was
Austria.
it, yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
Australia. Those are Locuzzed are from Australia.
Yes, we ride kangaroos to our gigs. That's really
You're like the kangaroo kings.
Yeah, exactly.
Kangaroo power.
Humping kangaroos.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, I think up to next one, otherwise we keep doing this.
Yeah. We will Sky Fade, Switch Phone.
Sky Fade.
I'm really
Yeah,
curious what you guys think about this one.
Second Austrian guy in here, that's really cool to see. And also, we got sent the track as well for our podcast, which aired just this Friday. And yeah, we really like that track, man. Like really, really funky thing here. The only thing I would change are the drums as well. I'm kind of disagreeing about the snare though. I would layer a clap and like really distort it. Something like Cameron Crook like to do in their tracks, like this clap that sounds like, or Boonjin did it in his track
layer clap?
Acolyte.
You mean layer the clap with not a clap?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
At least 1,000 claps on top
Yeah,
of
all the claps you have in your samples, all of them go in there.
And
Layer them all.
search for clap and select them all and just put them on.
You know the deal, exactly.
Yeah. Always do that.
good.
So yeah.
And yeah, also on this plug, on the main plug of the track, I would maybe try to automate some reverb to make it sound a bit brighter in parts of the track, so you can get some movement in there. But yeah, other than that, it's an awesome track. We really like that one as well.
Sounding very original, unique in a way. That's what I like about that.
Yeah.
But also a bit Dossa and Locuzzed, like, to be honest.
Yeah, probably that's why I like it.
That's what I liked about it too. I can be honest. I really liked that part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mixed
cool. I
with
mean-
like Rockwell or something.
Yeah.
True.
Rockwell meets Dossa and Locuzzed meets Australia.
Yeah, mate.
All be found in one name, Sky Fade. Yeah, great track.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is really good track.
All right, so the last track.
I like
Josh Lovis, Make It Count.
about that. Yeah. I like the track very much as it's very emotional. I like the feel of it, very vibey, which is, as all of us musicians know, very hard to put like in a electronic track, to put emotions in there. So big ups for that. I'm loving the fact there's a Wurlitzer or a Rhodes as bass line, a very underrated bass instrument in my opinion. But yeah, the problem about the track for me is that other than there's the fact that Rhodes is playing the bass line, I can't really remember anything of the track. So it just needs a hook or something really catchy that just stays in your head in a way.
To be honest, I think personally
yeah.
that the vocal is actually very catchy. Like the
Oh, really?
The vocal is the hook. I think.
Yeah,
that's,
like this part.
Okay.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Robin. Yeah.
Like
Afterglow.
the
It's like
first
Afterglow or
time I
something.
heard it, because we actually know the vocalist so she played it to me a while back, and after that, I did have it in my head for a couple of days. So, but I think the
cool.
instrumental is not very catchy. It's vibey mainly.
Yeah.
It was just like on the top of my head, I kind of knew something from each track besides that one. That was
Okay.
just my.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is how
interesting.
tastes
Yeah.
are different,
Yeah.
you know.
Exactly,
It's just
yeah.
my single opinion. So please,
Yeah.
I'm not saying like the universal truth or anything. No.
What? Wait, you're not? Why are we calling?
Why?
We thought you were
Oh,
like
yeah.
a god.
Right.
Yeah. what
You
the-
literally, I have like the WhatsApp here from you saying you know it all. Like, yeah, here, dear Philip, can I be the guest in your next show? We know it all. We're basically gods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greetings from Australia.
This is when my nose started to bleed.
Okay, no. Okay, I think that's,
So,
that's
yeah.
for the feedback part.
Yeah.
I really like this, guys. Norman, I was just planning on asking you which one was your favorite, but we got like a whole detailed list of tracks. But still, I'm gonna ask you, which one of these 5 tracks?
There
was
can
your
only be
favorite?
one.
There can only be one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of were in between the phonetic track and the Skyfade track. But I think
Not because of patriotism.
No.
not only
okay.
because of patriotism, but I think we're gonna roll with the Skyfade one because it's really original, it's really something different and really well done. So yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a proper track, man. It's a proper track. And
True that.
he's from Australia, you know. So
Yeah,
he
Australia,
likes
mate.
Down under.
kangaroos. You
Yeah.
can just hear the kangaroos in there. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay,
I heard
anyway.
that the
Fellow
clap
Australian.
comes from a crocodile, like doing like this.
From a crocodile.
Yeah.
A clapodile.
Like a crocodile with
Clapodile,
mouth
man.
closed.
Clap,
It's like he
clapodile,
sampled
yeah.
a real
Nice
Australian
one.
clapodile.
Yeah, that's how we make our claps over here.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Anyway, I want to talk about your new album, and actually more specifically the tour and how it. Are you like affected by Corona with your album tour, or were you like lucky, so to say?
Well, to be honest, we did plan kind of a live tour with the album with some visual stuff and that. But obviously that can't happen right now because we don't know when the touring is going to start again. But we're also kind of lucky because we weren't really in time with the planning anyway. So, I don't know.
So it's not your fault anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Now we can say all was prepared. But yeah, it wasn't actually.
Like the cool thing is in the current situation, we just have time to do all these things we had in the back of our head. Oh, we should do a proper YouTube channel. We should do this properly. We should that and that and that. And instead of that, there was just the album tour coming in there, which was like, okay, this needs to happen now properly. So pretty much everything was pushed aside, and we had to focus on this. So it's a kind of a lucky accident, so that we're kind of free in our heads again and can actually finish some tunes. As you guys know, there's a remix coming up and some other stuff. So
Definitely, man. And I'm for the people who are listening in, we can announce that these two guys are doing a remix for High Tea from one of Mountains tracks. We should not say anything more apart from that, but just keep an eye out on our Facebook and whatever, and we'll announce something soon.
Woo!
Ooh.
Oh, by the way, send me the pre-master.
Oh,
yeah.
Now that we have you here.
Now that we
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
you.
but you gotta say though, it's like 12 hours time difference between Australia.
Oh yeah.
That's why I don't have it yet.
Yeah, exactly. We sent
Okay.
it before the show. It's just not there yet.
Maybe
fuck.
it takes time.
Didn't think of that. Of course.
It's always the same. But yeah, anyway, it's good to hear that there's also like a positive effect to the corona and the quarantine and stuff like that. So like finally having time to do things you want to do, plus finishing up music. But I think that's the same for every producer out there.
exactly.
There's time to finish up your music, and that's always good. I think a lot of original tracks will be made in this time, you know.
Yeah, I hope so.
So yeah, anyway, about the album shows, I'm really glad that we could reschedule your show, which was planned on the 1st of May for the Letter Draw High Tea Night to 4th of December. So everybody who wants to see these guys in action in Amsterdam, the 4th of December, that's your date.
Yes.
Okay, so apart from that, quarantine tips. I think it's time. How do you? They basically already said it. They basically already said what they did during the quarantine. Is there anything else you did not mention that you would advise people to do during the quarantine?
I would just say maybe try to enjoy the time as much as you can, because life usually is really stressful. And I think now during quarantine, you can't just sit on the couch and be lazy without like having a bad, how do you say that in English? Without feeling bad, basically. So you can really chill back.
What's the German word for that?
Oh.
What's
Sorry?
the German word for it? Or the Austrian?
Schlechtes Gewissen.
Schlechtes Gewissen.
Geweten,
I like
slecht
it.
geweten.
Yeah.
It's like slecht geweten.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
A bad conscience.
Bad conscience, yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, we speak a little bit of
Schlechtes
German.
geweten.
Schlechtes Gewissen.
Gewissen. We should call a track like
Schlechtes Gewissen.
Schlechtes
Yeah.
Gewissen.
Great track title, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe the next album will came home crooked.
Next album,
sounds a
yeah.
bit like that.
Yeah.
Like Zeitgeist and then Schlechtes Gewissen. Okay. So yeah.
I mean, I was actually hoping for you guys that I could start and tell you some really stupid tips for the quarantine. But yeah, let's go on with these ones then. What I try at least, is to do something on a regular basis, like structure my day. Even though I never had a day job like this, so I'm full time into music. But especially now, in some weird way, I just have some more structure in my life. Get up at the same time, get breakfast at the same time, then I go out for a run every second day, just keep on going in a kind of a wheel. And I say that just keeps you sane. At least it works for me.
Yeah, I try.
Yeah,
to
that's
do that,
really
but
nice.
I'm
For
really
me, it
failing.
actually got worse. Like I had a perfect rhythm, and then
Really?
yeah, and then Corona came, and I like to work out in the morning to kind of like a starting point of my day. But yeah, now you can't do that anymore, or not easily. So I think it's really good that you actually created your own rhythm so quickly with all this stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do that.
big ups.
Let's see how
I'm
long
trying.
it holds.
I'm trying.
Like you did it for one day now, and now you're all proud.
Yes,
like
yes.
for
It's my
one
first day,
every
actually.
second day I run.
Yeah.
It's like these guys who try meditation for the first time and then they are like enlightened and are like, wow.
You're like, whoa, you
everything's so
don't
different."
meditate? What? Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Fuck you
Okay.
guys.
Oh,
I
and
do
one
meditate.
very, very important question. How many rolls of toilet paper do you guys have at your place?
I can't say it. It's like an industry secret, to be honest.
Okay.
Fuck.
Okay, well, maybe you can tell us in private, like you have our number.
Yeah, you can ask me.
Okay, well, I can sense it's like sensitive for you guys, so let's not stick with this question.
Yeah, if you're not comfortable talking about it.
But actually, I do have plenty of toilet paper, and you know what? This is the only toilet paper you can still buy, or you could still buy at the shops at that moment where everyone was going crazy for toilet paper. It's all normal stock, meanwhile, again in Austria. But in this week where they were going mad, there was just the premium toilet paper left at the stores, and this is what I'm always going for, of course.
Yeah.
So I had never any problems by that.
Premium
Exactly, that's
shipping.
perfect. I also always used to go for the cheapest one, but now they only had premium. So now like, oh, this is
There
so
you go.
good for my anus.
Is it really any good?
Now we're getting there.
Yeah.
Is it really any good?
Yeah, it's seriously better.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
a shit in a bit then at your toilet, Rob.
You're right.
Oh, I
You
already
have
did-
like
oh,
different
I'm gonna do it
layers
then.
in toilet paper. You have like
Yeah,
two
but I mean-
layers of toilet paper and three.
Maybe
and
I'm
like
even
four.
always buying premium. I don't know.
And some of them have just air pillows between the layers.
Oh man.
Oh wow. Okay, well.
Yeah, man.
Sounds
next
like
level
heaven.
shit.
Yeah.
Next level
level,
shit.
yeah.
Okay. Well, final act of today. Jur, are there any questions for the audience for these?
Yeah, I've got one.
guys?
I've got one question. Let me see. It was from Pim. How did you guys get to know each other, and why did you decide to make drum and bass?
Okay, like the story how we met is actually a real millennial story because it was via Facebook actually. I just knew Benny from being a promoter. Like he used to do parties in our hometown, and I really wanted to play a DJ set in that club. And like I thought like, hey, I'm gonna add this promoter right here and let's see if we can link. And then like he hit me up basically and said like, hey, we should spend some time in the studio together, because on my Facebook profile he has seen that I don't live very far. And yeah, that's how the whole thing started. Like we went to the studio together, made music together.
Probably at this point to mention is that like the town we're living in, especially in these days, was not very producer crowded. So
yeah,
Okay.
we kind of found each other because there was no
You
one
had
else
to.
to find.
You had to.
Yeah.
Oh man, that raises the question: what if there were other producers in the same town? Oh, would we have like Dossa and Opus, whatever?
yeah.
But I
And
think
why,
it's
why
great
drum
if
and
you.
bass? Why drum and bass? You know what made you listen or made you produce drum and bass? Is it like an album or?
Yeah,
Stupid question,
definitely.
man.
Hold your color back
Yeah.
in the day.
Love
You
that.
know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the usual 2005 Raver Kid story. I had dreadlocks back in the days.
No,
and I was just
What?
switching from
dreadlocks?
heavy metal. Yeah.
I'm trying to
And
picture
no,
it
I'm
now.
not gonna share a picture.
Man, what the fuck? I'm like,
I should have never mentioned this, but anyway, yeah. So it was pendulum all the way. You know, we switched from heavy metal, the emo, I don't know,
same for us, Pendulum, man.
teenager phase
Fucking
to
hell.
pendulum, and from there to hit DJ Hazard, and then we were just hooked, or at least
Now
me,
you were lost.
Yeah.
hooked. Yeah.
I think for so many people, it's hold your color.
Mm.
Yeah.
That-
At least in our
Also-
age, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I was on such a good course. I was like going to university, working hard towards my graduation, drum and bass coming along. Now I'm here, jobless. I'm just kidding. It's-
What went wrong?
Pendulum, fuck you! I want my money back. No, actually,
So yeah,
I have a question,
actually,
yeah. Oh
to
wait, yeah.
mention
Continue.
is that we started making music together. Only like we did meet at the studio that day, like like the weekend after we connected on Facebook. But actually working together properly took another 5 years
Yeah.
to get us started, until we both had like kind of our own sound and knew what we could pull off the other and
Yeah.
inspire each other and stuff like that. So probably good to
Yeah, but-
mention that.
Yeah,
still.
exactly. Because in the
Interesting,
very
yeah.
first years, we were just like meeting at Benny's studio, and like everyone was preparing their tracks they were working at the time, and it was really cool because in the end of this whole sessions, I was like remembering one of Benny's tracks and was like, I should do something like that as well. And I basically ripped off his idea, and then came back
And the
next
opposite
time,
around as well.
and then he was like, I should do something like that. And so we really
Nice.
inspired each other at the end of those sessions.
Nice.
Actually, yeah.
Funny, yeah.
That's pretty good. Okay, any other questions from the audience?
Not really. No.
Okay.
I got one.
What's,
I got
what's
one.
with the? Yeah. Oh no, just go ahead.
Yeah. Why Dossa and why Locuzzed? Why those names?
Had the same
Well,
question.
they came up individually actually. Dossa came up because my bigger sister used to call me Penner in German, like Penner instead of Benny, since I can remember kind of. And once I looked up for a DJ name when I was like 13, 14 years old, something, I just looked what Penner, which is actually hobo in English, and I found the translation Dossa, and that was it pretty much.
Okay,
I mean,
interesting.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's better than our story. I mean, anything is better than our story. So yeah, why
Is it?
Locuzzed?
Yeah, I wish I had a really cool story, but to be honest, I was just making music, and when I bounced the first files, I had to choose an artist name, and I was playing a video game called Gears of War back then, and the enemies there were called Locuzzed, and I thought that sounded cool. That's why I called myself like that. It was
Called Locuzzed?
when I started, I was writing it differently. It was Locust as the word, as the animal, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But there was like some angry American guy hitting me up on Facebook because I was basically fucking up his Beatport discography with my drum and bass releases. So yeah, I had to switch the name and write it differently, and yeah.
And now we're
Angry
stuck with a
American
name
guy.
no one can spell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The idea was I have to find a spelling that isn't used anywhere, because if you enter Locuzzed as I write it now, you only find our music. You don't find any, like, I don't know,
Porn.
any restaurant in Spain named like this or something like that. It's nothing writes like this. But
Why
the
a
bad thing is,
restaurant in Spain? That's like strangely specific.
Right.
Have you had any encounters with restaurants in Spain having the same name as you? What the
yeah, I
fuck?
switched my name even the third time because. No. But what I'm saying
No,
is, like,
you made them switch their name.
yeah,
You
exactly.
mean, yeah.
Damn.
No, but what I was saying is, like, the idea was if you enter Locuzzed into Google, I want people to only find my music. But the bad thing about it is that nobody knows how to spell it. That's maybe, yeah. My plan
Always
didn't
a
go as
positive.
far.
Yeah.
I even had to look it up when I typed it like on our website. Well, and I know you guys for quite some time now.
I can do it. I can do it out
Yeah.
top of my head.
Yeah,
Don't
he
worry
can
about
do
it.
it.
I can do
The
this.
infuriating thing is that, like, Dossa is written with 2 S and Locuzzed with 2 Zs. And it would be way cooler as a logo if we both had Z or S. But yeah.
Like your logo SS.
SS, yeah, that's the perfect logo.
We shouldn't do that.
I think they already have a logo
There's
like
already
that.
a logo. There's already a logo with the SS, something like yeah. I think someone showed me at history, but it's like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I think we should finish up the call. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we'll never get to the winners.
Exactly.
Okay. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for calling in. It was an honor and a pleasure as always. I'm looking forward
Likewise.
to just hanging again in the backstage and
Same.
finally
Yeah.
drinking
It's,
finishing off that
Sipping some
bottle.
Henny.
Finally finishing off that bottle that we have.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, see you soon.
Cheers.
Stay indoors. Stay
Yeah,
Thanks
safe.
for
thanks so
having
much,
us, guys. Big ups.
Right.
Stay on
Bye.
it, producers.
Yes.
Big ups.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So that was the call. I think. What are we gonna do right now? Play the short mix again. Yeah, we're gonna do that. For people who still have to vote, you can hear one last time what
Final
the tunes
chance.
are.
Final chance to
So
vote.
here it goes.
Losing control, losing control, losing control, losing control. I should have let you come closer than I could have.
All right. So yeah, that was it. You have one last chance to vote now. We're gonna discuss who we think is the winner. We're gonna take like 3 or 4 minutes for that, and then we'll be back.
Okay.
Right.
Do-do-do-do-do.
even worry you'll forget what it feels like to dance to the rhythm of drum and bass on a high-tea club night? Well, don't worry, because right now you can bring a bit of high-tea music into your own home. Check out our new merchandise store at highteamusic.nl. High-tea music. Go hard and be home.
Okay, so we're back and we had a big fight about which tune is gonna win.
It was emotional.
It was very seriously. Yeah. We actually are gonna announce first who we think was the best track. So yeah, I think we should just go ahead and do it, right?
Yeah, just hit it.
Hit it. All right, the winner of this edition is Skyfade with Switch Funk. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Congrats. Yeah, it was really it was a hard decision, but this track was really original, really funky, well structured, and
I'm gonna play it out.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks that you can really play out in your sets. So that was really nice.
Job well done, man. Well done.
Yep.
You're off to the next round, to the finale, actually.
But there is more, because you guys also voted, and last week the votes and our opinion was the same. This week it wasn't, so we have a second winner. The public voting winner thing.
Yeah, the public vote.
Yeah.
How do you call that?
Yeah, how you call that?
Public vote.
The public vote. All right, so I'm going to announce him right now. The winner of the public vote is Matroshka by Carrier.
Yay!
Woo! Yeah, well, that wasn't our first choice. I think it's well deserved.
It's definitely well deserved.
Because
But,
it has potential, and so these two tunes, Carrier, Matroshka, and Skyfade, Switch Funk, you're both through to the final round.
Congrats.
Congrats.
But to the other people, the other 3 tracks that we had, don't be sad or whatever. We loved every single track because you already made it through our pre-selection, and there was a huge amount of tracks that got submitted for this week. So even if the fact that you're already in this live stream means that you did a great job. It just meant that we liked one of the other tracks a little bit more. But keep at it, keep doing what you do, and maybe we'll even contact you anyway, because there were some tracks that we really like to release anyhow. So keep your eyes near the field. Yeah.
I think that was beautifully said. Now nobody will feel hurt.
No, it's important.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
keep at it. Keep at it. Seriously,
yeah.
because it was high quality stuff, and I don't want to demotivate anyone.
Yeah. All right. So we've announced the winners, and I think that brings us to the end of this show.
No, it's okay. I have to go to the toilet.
Okay. Well, we only end it because Philip has to go to the toilet. Apparently.
And I want to try out the Rhodes toilet paper. I want to try out the toilet paper.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
It's multiply with air in between. It's perfect.
It's crazy. I'm all excited about this now.
And I think that's a good way to end this show this
you
week.
continue this. I'm going.
All right, Philip is going already. I'm gonna play the outro jingle. We'll see you next week for round 3. Bye bye.
Bye bye.